Hey folks, it's Johnny Flynn, and Ned Lamont has made a terrible mistake. I'd like to play a video at the end of what I'm about to talk about. In my hand is the Epoch Times. This is an opinion piece on forced organ harvesting in China's medical genocide for a profit. And if you read this article, this is Article 1 of a 4-page series starting, "The mass killing of prisoners of conscience for their organs serves as a dual purpose for the Chinese Communist Party." According to David Mattis, an international human rights lawyer from Canada, the killing eliminates what the party sees as a political enemy. The Falun Gong have been killed since 1999, and the Uyghurs were added as an ethnic group that can be harvested through the medical profession, collected, placed in inventory, tested, and then people from other countries travel to China to get the transplant. People from the West, people from Korea, for example, get on a plane, get their medical history checked, find an organ of a donor held in prison, in concentration camps. So let's put a few articles on the screen just to describe what's happening. Right here it's called The Bitter Winter. It lists the locations of the concentration camps in China. There's lots of articles about it. There's 85 converted hospitals, converted military factories, converted this, that, and the other thing, made into autonomous prefecture, which it's either a medical center, factory. Here's an education camp, which I'd like you to follow this story by watching this presentation. If you go to the Epoch Times and go to the top here, forced organ harvesting in China is medical genocide for a profit. I need you to read this. Only 260 people have shared it, which means that the media doesn't cover it. And it's critical because the joke that Ned Lamont just made, why don't I put the joke on the screen and then we can keep it in the back of our mind while we talk about this article in my hand. This is one of 4 articles by Roman, who works for the Epoch Times, who's having events in New York City trying to get the word out. He's a conservative. And there's leaked documents. This is a very long article, folks. So it's mentioning the 100,000 people a year who benefit from the organs taken from those murdered to donate it. And if you look, forced organ harvesting, transplantation, of organs is a medical ethical violation. So that's why my opponent, Richard Blumenthal, hasn't done anything about it. As a matter of fact, he owns 2 malls through partnerships in China where he has 300 Chinese nationals working for him. Now, he owns part of a Chinese radio station. What are they doing? Manipulating the news. They own a Chinese television station. What are they doing? Propaganda? I'd say so. Let's play the Ned Lamont video. Here we go. Ready?
Well, I think first of all it'll be the numbers. Is this something that's being exploited, or are these a very small group of Mother Teresas who come forward and feel deeply? Small group of Mother Teresas, small group of Mother Teresas.
Mother Teresas, folks. Okay? Let's take that off the screen. Because what you need to know is the Mother Teresa Award was given to this society twice. The doctor that's about to speak here, hold on, in this article, let's play it.
Of living with this atrocity for decades, and what can be done to end these crimes against humankind, to stop these crimes against every one of us. We invite you to be part of this important debate, from which no doubt solutions and justice for the victims will emerge, forming a vital framework for combating and ending the crimes of forced organ harvesting. Now, it is my privilege to introduce our host, Dr. Thorsten Trey, physician and executive director of the international medical NGO Doctors Against Forced Organ Harvesting. DAFO has been twice nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize and was awarded with the Mother Teresa Social Justice Award in 2019. Please welcome Dr. Trey.
You kind of have to watch the whole thing. It's an hour and 22 minutes. But more than 1 million have fallen prey.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed speakers and guests, welcome to our World Summit on Combating and Preventing Forced Organ Harvesting. 15 years ago, when the Epoch Times broke the news that in China organs were harvested from living prisoners of conscience, the term forced organ harvesting did not even exist. This by itself already indicates that this horrific practice is beyond our imagination and thinking as human beings. It also means that in order to understand this practice, we need to open our minds to think the unthinkable. Over the past 15 years, independent investigators and researchers used their creative...
He's talking about there being 1 million victims. This guy on the screen obtained the Mother Teresa Award, okay, which our Governor Lamont thinks is a joke. So here he is, the leader of Connecticut, as a Democrat, is all about social justice. The worst offender is China. And if you think about the Holocaust, folks, think about the Holocaust. Millions of Jews, 6 million, 6 million Catholics, actually 6.1 million Catholics and 6 million Jews, were killed by Germany, which said it was an internal affairs issue, left the world outside, walked people into the oven based on religious belief. What's happening in Connecticut? Religious belief is taken out of the vaccine issue. Teachers are being let go in Connecticut that will not be vaccinated. Refuse the vaccination of an experimental nature based on what some perceive to be a biological weapon made in China. So here we go. China is taking organs from ethnic groups, categorizing them as prisoners, putting them in 85 concentration camps, and Ned Lamont, your governor, thinks they're Mother Teresa's and doesn't know that the Mother Teresa Award is coveted. It has to do with ethics, folks. The man has none. The people committing these atrocities, Senator Cotton introduced legislation to prevent this type of thing happening. But where is Senator Murphy, Senator Blumenthal on these issues? Oh, right now there's issues with everything Blumenthal does, and the way the media portrays him. The media hands him a card and says, we're doing a story about this guy shot in Bridgeport 5 times every weekend. He doesn't know who the people are. He says, oh boy, we got to really do something about gun violence. Let's take everyone's guns away. That's a law-abiding citizen. Hold on a second. They're going to disarm you. Then they're going to take your religion away. And then they're going to start harvesting their political enemies. That's what this article says. All these circles need to be read. I'll read it again. According to David Mattis, an international human rights lawyer from Canada, the killing eliminates what the party sees as a political enemy. Didn't that happen to President Trump? They went after him. Look at the 50 victims of Hillary Clinton, who did the Uranium One deal, who went to college with Bill Clinton, of course, and Senator Blumenthal, who brought Comey down to the FBI to cover up the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Where has Hillary been, folks? Is there a tribunal, a military court-martial, or a military decision being made? Does she have clearance to operate under strict guidelines? What are those strict guidelines? I'd like to know, because it's important. And do you notice the media is not covering the story at all, except for the Epoch Times? So hats off to Roman and the guy on my staff, who's a new volunteer, who works for the Epoch Times. Because, folks, we need to get to the bottom of these stories. We need to publish them. We need to talk about it. It has to be freely talked about, and it has to be remedied, more importantly. So tonight, I'm meeting General Flynn in New Hampshire. We're leaving at 2 o'clock. Anyone want to come? The dinner's from 6 to 9. I hope to get a photo op, and I will share it. And I hope you give me a thumbs up for talking to General Flynn, because he fights like a Flynn, I fight like a Flynn, and the Flynns can bring clobbering time. Have a great day. I'm very excited about tonight, and this weekend we're meeting a whole host of Republicans in Phoenix, Arizona with CTRA. I just want to mention CTRA is having a Norwalk event on October 25th, Monday, from 6 to 8. We've invited some personalities, and I hope they come. I haven't heard from any of them, which is par for the course. So Republicans in Connecticut need to follow Republicans, promote Republicans, and I'm talking about the GOP, because I need from them the GOP talking points for the Epoch Times and 5 or 6 other newspapers requesting it. So now we're at like 6 newspapers. No, it's a cocktail party that we're going to. We've got a lot of cocktail parties planned, folks, with the media. Anyone wants to come who's running for office can. I will bring you. It will be free. You will get exposure. We need to expose forced organ harvesting. It's gigantic. It's bigger than human trafficking, folks. There are 1 million victims, and no one's talking about it. Have a great day. Let's leave it there. All is well. Hope to have a discussion soon about how we can play an active role in one of these situations, because I think nothing will come of it but good. Thank you very much. Flynn 2022. Go to WinRed, hit Connecticut, and make a small donation. You have to do it, or I'm not going to win. Because I am trying to spend the money in Hartford, New Haven, Waterbury, and Bridgeport. A couple other towns. But I've sent thousands of letters out with a 0.1% response rate, which is horrible. We don't need a lot of money to win, folks. The topics like organ harvesting are that bad that we should prevail anyway. And if you don't know who Skeletor is, follow this page. Follow this page. He's responsible for drafting the abortion bill recently, the Green New Deal, and what else? The Iran deal. So, do you want to pay terrorists to blow us up? Do you want to give Hillary the uranium so her husband can get a $500 million bonus? While she's Secretary of State, she should not be approving her husband to broker through Russia American uranium. I don't care if it's not in weapons grade. Iran already has the ability to make weapons grade uranium. Already. Afghanistan has the lithium. Afghanistan has the heroin. Our posture in these foreign countries, we shouldn't be aiding them like the Houthis, a terrorist organization, who Richard Blumenthal prefers, who Senator Chris Murphy prefers, over the people of Israel, for God's sake. Blumenthal is Jewish. Why are we doing ethnic cleansing, allowing it, in China after the Holocaust in Germany? Unbelievable. Have a great day. Let's talk some reason to each other. Share it. And go on to victory.